boating on Lake Winnipesaukee, and NASCAR at the Magic Mile. Two of the many fall family activities in the Granite State. So you don't have water wings, you say? Then let's go racing with the modifieds. Hi, everybody. Welcome to New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the FW Web 100, the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour at the Magic Mile. I'm Ralph Shaheen alongside Ray Evernham, and Derek Perniciglio will be joining us shortly. Ray, it's a beautiful day for racing here, and this is always a big day for the modifieds when they come to Loudon.
Great day, great field of cars.
As you can see, the temperature's in the upper 80s, so where is Loudon, New Hampshire? Well, we're a little over an hour outside of downtown Boston. Popular venue and a very important one if you're a modified driver, because you get to race in front of the big-time NASCAR team owners, and you can really impress somebody and maybe get yourself a big-time ride in NASCAR's Premier Division. Here's a look at the championship point standings. There's a title on the line. Ryan Preece leads by 6, but Ray, he's not here.
Yeah, well, speaking of a guy that's performed well enough to get a big-time ride, but Doug Colby, Timmy Solomito right on his heels. Justin Bonson, you are not out of it yet, but got to have a good run today.
Let's go downstairs now to Derek Perniciglio.
Ralph, Ray, earlier today, the producers talked to me and asked me how the modified community heals from losing Ted Christopher just 7 days ago. And the answer that I had for them was, you don't completely heal from this. Sure, we're going to go racing, and that'll definitely help ease some of the pain. But we're 30 years from losing Richie Evans and just about the same amount of years from losing Charlie Jazombek. 10 years ago, we lost John Blewett III, and a few years before him, it was Tom Baldwin. The modified community is resilient, and they've been through this before. And the best way that they know how to help themselves to feel better is by putting on a good race and by going racing again and competing.
Legends like those names, and of course, Teddy Christopher will never be forgotten, especially when you take a look at the stats he racked up here at Loudon.
Yeah, 5 wins, 4 of those in a row.
Well, let's take you back to one of those memorable days in Ted Christopher's career here at Loudon. This is in 2004. The famed 13 was on the pole and led early. Battling here with John Blewett in the yellow 77. It was an action-packed day, Ray.
It really was. As you can see, a lot of trouble right in front of Teddy right there, but he misses it all.
And he battled with his brother.
What a great day racing side by side with brother Mike.
Then Blue would have problems here. That's Todd Zaggity in the white 50. Getting into him as they both go into the wall. And at the checkers, Teddy Christopher would hold out brother Mike for the win. A win that would become one of 4 straight victories at Loudon. Well, it's time to go racing now, and here's a look at those that have had great success this year, and all those drivers in the middle of that championship battle all showing up in the victory column. Back down to Derek.
Ralph, Ray, Ryan Newman is on the pole here today at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. He's won here in the past in the Magic Mile, and the car was fast in qualifying, but how's it going to race?
I think pretty good. I mean, it's always a tough field of competition here at Loudon, and got to thank Gary Putnam and Bono for giving me this opportunity, and Menards, Aggressive Hydraulics, and all the people that helped support it. But definitely got a good race car. Just want to keep it up front, clean air, and you know, be able to dictate the line that the leader wants to be in, and you know, not have to race too hard until it really matters.
Unlike the cup racing that you're used to doing, we have a halfway break at or around lap 50. What's the strategy there?
Just, you know, make sure we make the right adjustment, make sure our change set of tires and our staggers and everything match up with what we want, and, you know, hopefully, if not, be as good in the last 50 as they are the first 50, be better.
Ryan Newman's going to bring the field to the green today. He likes racing these modifieds here at the Magic Mile.
Always a tough challenger when you see Ryan Newman in that car at Loudon.
Yeah, another guy with a lot of open wheel experience that just loves to drive these modifieds.
We'll be right back to the Magic Mile, and we'll throw the green and go racing. NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour set to take the green flag for the FW Web 100. Field out on the track, warming up the tires. Tires have been a bit of a story here this weekend for this category, too.
Yeah, it's my understanding that a little bit of the PJ1 grip strip there is causing some wear on these tires on these modifieds. We're going to have to keep a close eye on that, Ralph.
Going to run 100 laps, 105.8 miles. Here's Derek.
Guys, our Who to Watch driver this week will be the number 82 machine of Woody Pitcat. He's driving substitute for Ted Christopher this weekend, and they couldn't have picked a better driver. Woody Pitcat and Ted Christopher were very good friends both on and off the track. When I talked to Woody earlier in the day, he said, I'm here to honor Ted Christopher this weekend. I'm not here to be Ted Christopher or drive like him or use the 3-tap rule or anything like that. My goal is to give this team their best possible finish here in New Hampshire.
You saw the 4 wide in honor of Ted. And here's a look at that starting grid. Newman on the pole. He's going to have Rowan Pennick alongside of him in the famed blue 3.
Yeah, both of those guys over 130 miles per hour average, Ralph.
Taking a look a little bit further back through the field. How about Bobby Santos? An open wheel standout, always good here at Loudon in the modified.
Yeah, not a guy I'd say is a modified driver. A guy that I would say is an excellent open wheel driver who wins a lot of races in modifieds.
I've seen him win in a lot of different things. Sprint cars, midgets, modifieds, wings, no wings, strong competitor. Here we go, coming off of 4, looking for the green.
And Newman's chosen the outside there, gets a good start. And again, I think the PJ1 they've put down has helped widen the track a little bit, but modifieds don't necessarily need that, Ralph. They've got them big wide tires, they're nice and low, but you can see there the 2 dark strips are where they put down the grip. Now that's helping the Cup cars a good bit, but right in the center of those 2 strips, the track is dull, and I think that's where you might not want to be.
Kind of a no man's land, if you will.
We see Donnie Leah down on the bottom there in Tom Baldwin's car wearing that 7NY. Baldwin and Leah, NASCAR veterans.
That's Newman in the lead. Timmy Solomito tucked right in behind him, and Solomito suddenly seems to have found his groove again. You know, he was leading the points for a large chunk of the season, then started to slip back a little bit, lost the points lead, but now Derek Solomito battling for the lead, and he'll take it.
Guys, Timmy Solomito's spotter just came over the radio talking to Timmy while he's battling with Ryan Newman for the top spot. He said, be careful out there. First through 20th are bumper to bumper, so if you get hung out, you're going to drop all the way back.
Ryan Preece has the most wins on the tour this year with 5. Solomito is second with 4, but he has dropped to 3rd in the points and working his way back up.
Well, he's had some issues, crashes, and things like that. That happens with certainly a young person with a fast car. But you can see, look at there goes Newman and Pennick back by him on the inside. That's what I love about Loudon, the draft, Ralph. We used to run these cars at big places like Pocono and Trenton, New Jersey, Daytona and Talladega even. But, they're a little bit light for going those speeds. This is the perfect size track for these cars to draft on.
And they're safe at speeds like this on a track like this, too.
Well, they really are. You heard Derek talk in the beginning of the show about, unfortunately, the drivers that we've lost. And, every time you lose a driver or you have a tragic accident, you learn how to make the cars, the seats, the drivers safer. And the NASCAR modifieds have evolved over the years to become fairly safe race cars at these speeds.
Coming up the inside, gaining a spot, Donnie Leah.
Nothing like wheel-to-wheel in a modified. Those guys just inches apart with those wheels sticking out there.
Well, actually, he's not going to get the spot. He didn't get it done. And just like Solomito's spotter said, you better be careful, because if you don't get it completed, you can get hung out, and Kobe goes by him.
Yeah, we saw that draft there when Kobe come up behind 10 car, gave him a little bit of push. That totally slowed down Leah's run, and he got freight trained by 3 or 4 cars there. We watched Solomito get back to the point.
Will he have it when he gets to the other end of the back straightaway?
I don't know. Newman's not going to be so patient in a 100-mile event, but we'll see.
Off of 4. Here's Newman inside. He's back by him. Pennick's going to follow.
Pennick's going to give him a little bit of push. Andy Seiss sitting there. I think that's the family car he's driving today as he works to the outside. Now Pennick is odd man out.
Ray, you've driven this track at speeds like this in a modified. What's the sensation like compared to other cars?
It's unbelievable. What a great track in a modified at those speeds. Actually, Ralph, you know, my buddy over there and leading front, Ricardo Newman there, I've been around here a little faster than he has. But, of course, my car, we might have forgot to put the restrictor plate on it. But it's awesome. You know, Loudon is wide. There's grooves to move around. And the draft, I can tell you, we were playing around with the draft. I wanted to be able to talk on this show about what that feels like, and it is just incredible. About halfway down the straightaway, it's like you get another motor, track's wide enough, you pull down there on the yellow line, do the slide job, and slide up in front of somebody. And again, we were doing it for fun with just a couple of cars, but what a feeling, Ralph.
Boy, as Solomito goes for the lead and gets it, did Pennick ever get hung out? During your explanation of the drafting and all that and the speed sensations here, he went way back to just inside the top 10.
Well, it's all about keeping that momentum up. The cars have a gear rule. They are on a restrictor plate, so it reduces the RPM they can run as well as the horsepower. So momentum is very, very important here. And when you lose it, it takes a little while to get it back.
Seiss up to second. Newman trying to get that back. Seiss is in that white 70. Kobe's done a nice job. He sits in fourth, challenging for third on what is the outside of Newman's bright yellow machine. Kobe's going to go by. Now Newman's getting hung out, and that's Ronnie Silk in the purple 85 getting just in front of Kobe.
Ralph, I'm not so sure Newman's not experiencing a little bit of a problem because he's moved to the inside. He's riding in that gray strip like something's just not right there. I wonder if he's starting to wear a tire.
Well, there's supposed to be a competition caution coming soon to allow these teams to check the tires. So we'll see.
And when these modifieds lose a tire, it drops off a lot quicker than you'll see in the Cup side. The Cup cars seem to wear the tires more evenly. They have more downforce, and they don't rely as much up. And there comes that competition caution. But the modified tires being so wide, these cars not having a lot of downforce, they rely on mechanical grip. So when those tires go away, these cars stop handling.
Sapienza's 36 right there. Pennick, Santos, and Newman at the front of that group. Well, while the teams take a look at the tires, we'll take a quick break. Come on back for more great racing action. Getting ready to pull the pace car down pit lane, which means the green flag awaits at the FW Web 100 at Loudon.
And look who's bringing them to the green there.
Kobe.
Four-time champion.
Yeah, he is right where he wants to be. With Ryan Preece not here, the current points leader, and Kobe just 6 points behind him, leading early is exactly what Kobe wants to do.
He does, as we've said, you know, he's not won as often as he'd like to this year, but he's been in the thick of the point battle, and that's what champions do. They find a way to win those championships, whether they have the fastest car on track or not.
Ray, I think we have to talk about it. Do you think Ryan Preece is making the right decision by not being here today?
Absolutely. I absolutely do. Ryan Preece has got to look forward to his career. He's been a modified champion. He's proven that he's got the most wins on this season. He may give up the opportunity to win this championship, but he's got a shot of going all the way to Cup, and that's what every driver, most every driver that starts out in these modifieds wants to do. Get to the show.
Preece not here, running the NASCAR Xfinity Series event in Kentucky. So he's not so worried about winning the Drivers' Championship. He told me he's more concerned, actually, about getting his owner a championship, and he still thinks he can pull that off. Let's go back downstairs to Derek.
Well, before the race started today, I talked to Justin Bonsignor and asked him about starting 20th all the way deep in the field as he was. And he did say that we're going to have to charge right from the drop of the green. There's no trying the car in the first half of the race and trying to dial it in for the second half. We're back far enough where we're going to have to make up that ground, be able to come in, do the changes that we need, and try to stay up front for the rest of the race.
Bonsignor is in the black and green 51. He's got Santos, the black 44 on his tail. And that's Pitcat in that orange 82.
And Justin has run really well. We've not seen the speed out of him that we saw last year, but he's got to have a good finish today if he wants to stay in that championship battle.
Santos moves around him. Bonsignor comes into the title fight today, fourth in the points, no wins, no seconds, and a couple of thirds to his credit. Here's one of NASCAR's new up-and-coming drivers, Craig Lutz.
Hi, I'm Craig Lutz, the driver in number 46 Riverhead Build and Supply modified car. I started here in go-karts when I was 5. Then the next step, we ran late models up in Mountain, Pennsylvania. Then we stepped up to the modified tour. Last year was my rookie season. Had a couple top 10s. Then this year started off running my family car. Then luckily enough, I was picked up by the 46 team when they were looking for a change. And that's where I'm at now. I like racing on the tour because it's the pinnacle of short track racing. This is the highest you're going to get. You're racing against the best. My goals this year, we're a new team together, so we try to get a couple races this season to progress to optimally run for a championship next year. I'm Craig Lutz, and that's our NASCAR Next Gen profile.
While Doug Kobe continues to lead here at Loudon, it's these two drivers fighting over second place. Silk in the 85 holds it, with Timmy Solomito right behind in third.
Solomito's had a good run. We saw him a big win at Riverhead last week. He needs to have a good finish today.
Timmy 9 points behind current points leader Ryan Preece. Watching this fight, and it's one of the better ones on the racetrack. Down to pit lane again, here's Derek.
That's the 2011 NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour champion, Ron Silk from Norwalk, Connecticut, in that number 85 machine this year. The car's had a couple of different drivers this year, like Jeff Rocco and Woody Pitcat. Ronnie Silk opted to hop in the car this weekend. Finished second in this race last year. He was driving for a different team, but he does know how to get around this racetrack because Ronnie Silk has won a race here in the past driving for Eddie Partridge.
You know, Ralph, a lot of guys come out just for this race because the cars are so much fun to drive there. They love the draft. And I like that purple car. Reminds me of the old modifieds. They used to paint the modifieds purple and pink and things like that. You know, good for them for bringing a purple and yellow car out.
Of course, one of those most popular and famous paint schemes from back in the day is still in the race here today. Ron Penix, blue 3.
Yeah, the old blue, number 3. And, you know, and again, looking back, you know, you look at Donnie Leah's car, black number 7NY, Tom Baldwin. So it's neat to see the guys paying homage like that.
I do miss the Mystic Missile, though.
Well, we'll have to see it. We'll have to call Bob Garbarino and see if he's got a seat for you.
That would be awesome. Ray, how different is drafting in a modified here at Loudon as opposed to the Cup car?
Well, I don't know that the Cup cars get as big of an advantage from the draft as the modifieds do. The modifieds are so draggy because, you know, relatively no windows. Look at the cars, no windows. You look at the size of those tires. Those tires create a lot of drag and a lot of turbulence, so they blow a big hole in the air. And again, with that restrictor plate, you want to get right up behind that guy's bumper and keep pushing and pushing. And about a little about
Timmy! Right
Timmy
to the
slid
wall!
Up. Oh, wow!
And he's locked it up in a hard hit to the inside as well, and not what Timmy Solomito wanted here at Loudon when he was so looking forward to closing the points gap even more. Ray, that thing just slid right up off the track.
I don't know if he had a tire problem or if something went askew in the front end. Let's look at that. That was, no, he's going up the track. Wheels are turned. I'm guessing that he's had either a tire going down or some kind of a problem because the car's just not stopping at all. So, you know, we're gonna have to find out exactly what happened there. But
it just took off on him. There was nothing he could do. You can see the wheels turned, fighting it all the way, and then he couldn't get it to stop.
Very strange.
I mean, he is standing on the brake.
Well, it's another tough break for Timmy Solomito, who finished 9th in this race last year, finished 29th in the spring race, so it looks like his record this season at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway is not going to be very good. He made contact with the outside wall, talked to the crew, asked them what happened. They said they don't know. Something broke in the front end, and that's exactly why Timmy got into the wall. But NASCAR officials deemed that he's going to have to go to the infield care center because he did make contact with both the outside and the inside wall.
Just one top 10 finish in 7 career modified starts here in New Hampshire. And that one came on a day he really couldn't afford it. Coming right back. Getting ready to go back to green after Timmy Solomito's incident over in turns 1 and 2. Kobe really could benefit now as we come back to green. The points leader is not here, and the guy in third in the championship is out of it. Kobe could have a great day in that block, too.
He really could. You know, he could rack up a lot of points and bonus points. But, you know, Ronnie Silk is doing a great job in that number 85 car there. Kobe's going to have to contend with him. 4 wide on the backstretch, Ralph.
Fantastic. Closing in on the halfway point, too, and we'll see that halfway break, and the drivers will be able to make their final changes for that last run to the checker.
Yeah, and I think Kobe has me or us in his radio, because every time I say he needs to do something, he went back to the point. He's like, yeah, Ray, have a look at this. I'm going to drive back by that guy.
Well, the thing for Kobe is to manage the day, right? Even if he doesn't win, maximize the points here, and it's a fantastic afternoon one way or the other.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that makes Doug Kobe and that team so strong, is that they really understand that it's about winning the championship for them, and they've got a plan to do that. They're confident. They've done it 4 times before, and he knows what he needs to do, get the best and the maximum amount of points that he can out of his car every weekend.
When Pitcat was really hustling around the bottom in 3 and 4, here he goes again in that orange 82. He found a lane down there he likes.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised. Ryan Newman's not been able to make his way back up through the field after that early pit stop. So something's askew with that car as well.
We haven't talked about Patrick Emmerling, but he sits right there in third, looking pretty solid in that 07.
Another young guy that we've watched over the past couple years get faster and faster, more consistently. That's what I love about this grassroots modified racing. We're seeing these young stars get faster, get more consistent, and getting a shot to go to the show, as we talked about with Ryan Preece. And Patrick Emmerling has done a great job this year showing he's got speed.
Wow, look at this. Doubled up as Emmerling takes over second. Montagnard backed out for a second. Look at the competition here as Panic drifts up a little bit. He's in that light gray area, kind of that no man's land we were talking about, between the two grooves with all the traction, and he's fighting to hang in there. Boy, there's some great racing with these modifieds here, Ray, and one of the things we don't hear anybody talking about is aero dependency.
Well, these cars have what I call old school aero dependency. They've got a front spoiler and a rear spoiler, but they're largely dependent on mechanical grip. And as opposed to the Cup cars, where, you know, they've got the splitter and they got a lot of underbody things, and they're very susceptible to how high they are off the racetrack. Where the modifieds, you know, you bring back the mechanical grip with a little bit of aero being less of the equation, the racing can be pretty good. So, you know, it's my hope that someday we get the Cup cars less dependent on aerodynamics.
All I know is these modifieds look like cool race cars, sound like cool race cars, and boy, they put on a good show. Here comes Montagnard wheeling it again on the inside of Panic. Oh, Panic gets pretty loose. Oh, man, he had a handful to deal with there.
You know, Donnie Leah back out there in Tom Baldwin Jr.'s car carrying the 7NY, and certainly in memory of Tom Baldwin Sr., one of the best racers, modified racers ever, as we've got a caution, Ralph.
That's going to be our halfway caution. We'll get that break. These drivers will get a shot at making some adjustments. Kobe looks pretty solid, though, right now. The one thing he doesn't want to do is go the wrong way with the adjustments. And there's Timmy Solomito. They're going to try to get him back in. See if they can salvage some points. Well, one thing Timmy knows is that racing here at Loudon can get pretty hairy, especially towards the end. And a few guys might get knocked out from some aggressive driving, and that could help him gain some very valuable points back.
And, Ralph, we've seen some of these championships come down to actual ties, so 1 point can make a difference.
We'll be back. The second half from Loudon right after the break. We're halfway through the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour here on NBCSN from the Magic Mile in the Granite State, Loudon, New Hampshire. Of course, everybody remembering Teddy Christopher here today with stickers on their race cars. As this one got underway, it was Cup star Ryan Newman who led the way. Championship contender Timmy Solomito hit the outside and inside wall, but he's trying to get back into it now. Doug Kobe, the current leader. We've had 4 cautions for 19 laps, but 10 lead changes show what's in store as we work our way to the green for the final 50.
And we're not done yet. You're going to see some more lead changes. We got Patrick Emmerling right up there. You know, now Bonsignor in the picture. Donnie Leah right there. Rowan Pennick. Watch these guys swap. Running Silk down on the bottom of the racetrack. I've seen that purple car way down on the bottom.
And getting pretty loose down there, too. There he is.
He's going to need a little help to get going up to the front, but he's digging on the bottom, Ralph.
Pennick's been a fairly solid car in the Blue 3 today, up and down inside that top 10. Remember, he's still alive in this championship chase, 5th in the standings with 1 win.
Doing a good job, certainly in the old blue there. And there's Woody Pitcock in the 82. Important, Woody said, important for him to do a good job in the honor of Ted Christopher. So it's great to see that car back on track. That is exactly what Ted Christopher would have wanted.
Kobe has just had a solid race car today. He's picked his way to the front. Emmerling trying to catch him. And Leah's the other one that's been sneaky fast, hasn't he, in that number 7 NY?
Yeah, Donnie's good here. You know, he's a multiple-time winner here. He always runs good. Several top 5s here at Loudon. He's a guy that knows how to work that draft, and again, is a veteran modified racer as we see him dive down into the inside of Justin Bonsignor.
That experience here at Loudon can mean everything for a win. Back to Derek.
Donnie Leah battling in the top 5 right now. Started 3rd at the drop of the green when we talked earlier in the day. He said, we have a really good car. As a matter of fact, this is the best car I've had here in a long time. The VHT, sometimes when you get out of it, there's no grip, but we are handling very well right now. When I ran down to the pit area, talked to Tommy Baldwin, car owner, I said, how you doing for this race today? And he said, we're ready. We are ready to go win this.
You see the 21 of Ronnie Williams, the white car in this group. They're all fighting over 5th. Bonsignor trying to nose his way into that spot. Gets it going into 3. Williams trying to get it as they come off of 4. Oh, he's going to get hung out.
Yeah, the guys on the top had that momentum. See, he slides up in position, but still Silk able to turn down under him. But now Silk a little loose. Oh, used up the racetrack on him a little bit, slid across that gray. Unfortunately pushed Ronnie back a little bit. Ronnie carrying, I don't know, looks like that old number 21, the old Spear Point Art Barry numbers on there.
Santos in the black 44 on the high side. Fighting over 13th behind him.
We see that 6 there driven by John Kennedy. That is the Ryan Preece car, and it's out there to help gain those owner championship points that you talked about, Ralph.
One more time. Back downstairs, Derek.
Not a bad run for Chase Dowling in that number 15 machine. Runs in the top 5 right now. He's only doing a partial schedule this year because he doesn't have a full-time tour ride, but he has been racing weekly in the SK Modifieds at the Stafford Speedway. So every week he is getting laps. He's driving for Robbie Fuller's LFR house car this weekend, and they're having a good run out there right now, battling with Justin Bonsignor. Chase Dowling has big plans for next year. They plan to go full-time tour racing for 2018.
That'd be a great addition to the tour. The driver out of Roxbury, Connecticut, in the 1540 Connection machine.
Yeah, I'd love to see these guys coming on full-time. And big things happening for the Modifieds at New Hampshire next year. They're looking at a 250-lap race next year, Ralph.
All part of a special weekend they're talking about having in 2018 here at the Magic Mile. Sounds exciting for sure. Emmerling putting on a show as he goes for the lead. Slides up in front of Kobe's number 2.
Kobe's like, where are these kids coming from? Kobe right back on him.
Kobe, a 4-time winner here at Loudon.
Patrick, big win at Bristol you just saw. Again, another high-speed track. Pretty much dominated that race, did a great job. And again, doing a great job showing consistent speed.
Hey, if you're Patrick Emmerling and somebody says, how'd your 2017 season go? And you can say, I won Bristol and Loudon. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, really good.
We'll see if he can pull it off. He's going to have to hold off the multi-time champ, Doug Coby, to get it done. Back under caution here at the Magic Mile. That's what they call Loudon, New Hampshire's New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Still really tight field. Lots of good cars left packed in there, Ralph.
Here's why. That's Dave Sapienza on the inside of the racetrack.
No contact, no foul.
Sapienza out of Riverhead, New York. Regular on the tour. Here we go. Back to green. Coby on the outside once again. Boy, Emmerling gets left behind.
Yeah, I think Doug's good on restarts, but he got good push there from Ronnie Silk to help him.
How about Santos on the bottom? Look at the black 44. He made up a lot of ground.
And again, all that open wheel experience, you know, he runs dirt, he runs pavement. He's found something on the bottom there.
Here he comes again in 3 and 4.
Well, really working the bottom, Ralph.
We've seen a couple of drivers venture down there today, Ray, but nobody has made that bottom groove work the way Bobby Santos had. Here he goes again.
Now, Bobby making it stick, and as I said before, all that open wheel experience in those other cars that he drives, I think helps him when he gets in these modifieds.
He's in 5th. Here's the group behind him, Matt Swanson, holding on to a top 10 spot on the outside in the black and red 89. Oh, couple of cars hitting the wall there. That looked like Silk and Emmerling.
Yeah, and Emmerling tucked up behind there, probably couldn't see. He's following Ronnie Silk, followed him right in the wall.
Santos on the bottom again, fighting for 4th.
Wow, the guys are running hard now. You're starting to see those big right rears hang out a little bit more.
Well, Santos might lose his spot. Here we go. Challenge for the lead. Silk smacked the wall. Now he's the leader, Derek.
Bobby Santos has found something on the bottom line of the racetrack, and it looks like everybody's starting to follow suit. There's 2 lanes of VHT track bite out there, and there's a low lane and a bottom lane, and everyone's been trying the top lane all the way around to carry their momentum. But Bobby Santos, he's one of those sprint car and midget guys, and he knows that you've got to search around on the track to find something to compensate for how the car is handling. He started slinging it in down the bottom, picking up spots along the way, and now he finds himself running up near the front of the field. Not a bad job for the former USAC pavement sprint car champion.
Oh, here he comes again. Now he's going for the lead. Santos coming off of 4, right alongside of Coby, and Emmerling tucks in behind. Coby will venture downstairs. And he'll work the slide job like a true master.
Yeah, just can't keep it down there, though. The right front just not being able to hold like the 44 car of Santos is.
Santos has the lead with 10 to go. Emmerling tries to come through to take over second. Everybody's following Santos now.
Santos might have been just riding around knowing that grip was there, saving those tires a little bit because, you know, when Coby shot across the track, I think he's hurt that right front, Ralph. I think he's starting to watch that car. It's just not turning like it was.
No, Coby's hanging on. He's thinking points now. Here comes Pennick trying to take a few more away. I can't believe where Santos just came from almost nowhere. He was around the top 10 the entire first half of the race, but he didn't open the door to the bottom till right near the end here, and boy, has he made it work.
That's never show your cards too early. I mean, even though he's only 32 years old, as we've got a caution here, and the car looks like it made contact.
That is going to slow things down and really change things up as Brendan Bach got into the wall, and here's Chase Dowling slowing in the 15 as well.
And it's a shame. Brendan was having a really good day. He had been back and forth, shuffled back and forth, but was really making a good run.
Let's see what happened to them here as they go down into turn 1. Oh, they were 3 wide. Looks like they just ran out of room. Newman even got caught up in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he hopped over the right rear of another car, which is that is a tough situation in an open wheel car when you get up over the back of somebody else's right rear getting in the corner.
And they go to work on Dowling's car. I think that's where that contact came from. So now you got to wonder, with 5 to go, Santos played his cards. Everybody knows where he's fast. Can anybody counter that?
Well, it just depends on how much tire he has saved versus the guy that's got to race him.
Let's get the update out of Bobby Santos' pits. Here's Derek.
Well, Bob Santos is the crew chief for his son, Bobby Santos III, out there in the number 44 machine. And, Bob, it looks like Bobby's found something on the bottom.
Again? I don't, we hope he can pull it off. We don't know. It's early. All right.
What kind of changes did you make during the halfway break that got the car better?
Little track bar, tires. Danny did some moves for us. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm nervous right now. Sorry.
That's the word from Bob Santos. Watching his son, Bobby Santos III, out there. They've won here in the past, and they're trying to do it again on Lonnie Tinio's birthday, as a matter of fact, this weekend.
Well, the biggest adjustment might not have been what they did to the car, but just the driver picking the different lane, and he is making it work as we go back to green.
Yeah, and as we take green, I think Bob kind of knew a little bit more than he was telling us there, but hey, he's not going to give him up. He's a veteran too, but that car is good on the yellow line, Ralph.
Oh, 3 wide behind him. And there's some contact in there too as Bonsignore's trying to make his way up. You heard Derek mention Lonnie Tinio. Of course, it's Tinio Racing that Bobby Santos, our race leader, drives for.
I'm telling you, I'm amazed that as hard as Ronnie Silk and Patrick Emmerling hit that wall, and both those cars are still right there in the top 5.
Well, everybody else trying to get to that bottom two to see if they have anything close to what Santos has, and they're going to need it. Boy, he's driving away.
Yeah, they can't get to him to even get a draft off of him, and he's making it all up through the corner there. As I said, that car is just bending that racetrack right around that yellow line.
Behind him, Kobe doing everything he can to try to at least get on the podium. Maximize some points here. Down the backstretch as the pack squabbles over positions. Bonsignore trying to get inside. He goes below the yellow line. Kobe! Oh, I thought he was going into the wall. He's going backwards for sure.
Oh, wow, he's lost that momentum in several spots.
White flag is out. Kobe just trying to hang on.
Again, we almost had the incident, just like we saw earlier. That left front wheel touched the back of that car. Kobe did a great job keeping that car out of the fence.
Bobby Santos waited to the end to try the bottom groove. And it has worked beautifully here in the final stages. Bobby Santos will win at the Magic Mile.
What a great job there finding the bottom of the racetrack, and just, unfortunately for the other guys, Bobby took him to school today on that bottom.
Boy, he did, and we say all the time that you have to drive with a lot of knowledge to win and experience here at Loudon, and Bobby Santos showed every bit of his knowledge and every trick he had here today, and because of it, he's going to victory lane. What a great drive. We'll be right back to go to victory lane and hear from the winner. Back here at the Magic Mile, the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour put on a fantastic show once again. And in victory lane is Bobby Santos. The entire crew is ready to celebrate with their driver.
Had a great crowd today that got a great show, Ralph. He ought to be happy. He did a great job.
He sure did. Let's hear from him, Derek.
Well, on his car owner's birthday, Lonnie Tinio joins Bobby Santos and Bob Santos, the father, up on the roof. It's a special day here for the Tinio Racing Team, running a partial schedule this year, and Bobby Santos bookending the season here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, winning on the Magic Mile. Hugs and smiles all around as Bobby Santos celebrates in victory lane. The Tinio family joining Bobby up on the roof. Bobby, come on down, buddy. Come on, we got to talk to you. Come on. Way to go. You pulled it off again. Did you know that you had that big of a lead with all the guys battling behind you?
Yeah, we did. We knew we were getting away at the end there. We knew we had a great car. This is for Ted Christopher. Thank you. He was my hero since I was a baby. I learned a lot watching from him. Means a lot to win this, the first tour race after losing him. Doesn't seem real, but this is for him. Gotta thank this whole team, Sully Tinio, JRI Shocks. Gotta thank Wayne for everything he's done for us. Billy the Kid, Danny Gamache. I mean, he's worked his butt off this year on this race car. Just unbelievable. Lonnie Damon, LFR race car. Robbie gave us the setup for this race 2 races ago, and we back-to-backed it. My dad, I mean, he made awesome calls. I'm sorry if I forgot anybody, but thanks, everybody.
Bobby Santos celebrates here in Victory Lane tonight as he gives credit to one of his favorite drivers growing up, Ted Christopher, here at the Magic Mile.
Well, it shows you how important winning here is.
It really is. I hope that thing makes height with all the people that were standing on the roof of it. I'd be worried about that.
Yeah, that roof is definitely going to need a little work when they're all done. Here's how they finished, and I don't see the 2-car anywhere. There he is in 14th.
Yeah, don't know what that's going to do, but boy, I thought it was going to be a lot worse when he hopped over that bumper with that left front tire.
Rowan Pennick actually had a pretty good day, too. He finished his 2nd. Let's go back down to the infield area. Derek is caught up with Rowan.
Well, it was a good day for Rowan Pennick. Started on the outside pole in Old Blue, came back to the 2nd spot after losing some positions. And how did you make your way back up there?
Yeah, we fell back a little bit at the beginning, and car was really good. It was just really tough passing there throughout the beginning stages of the race, and made it to the halfway break, and then the guys made some good adjustments, made the car even a little bit better for me. With about 15 to go there, I knew we were hurting that right front running so hard, so we came in and got the emergency right front that NASCAR let us get there, and guys did an awesome job. That was the call of the day. Came in and the thing was just awesome on the bottom, and was able to drive the thing right back up to the front. And Bobby got away from us there in the closing laps. Wish I could have got up there and run with him for the win, but awesome job by that 44 team. Get here, the sweep at Loudon here. Congratulations to the Tinio team.
Nice strong day for Rowan Pennick, who came into this race in the top 5 in points, and he'll more than likely move up a couple of spots.
Like the Old Blue on the side of the cap, too. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, how about the points? Kobe takes the lead, Bonsignor jumps to 2nd, and Priest drops to 5th. 26 markers down. Well, let's hear from Patrick Emmerling now with Derek.
Well, Patrick Emmerling comes home in the 3rd spot today. He's only running a partial schedule with the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, but every time you come to one of these marquee events like Bristol, where you won, you come here and you run 3rd. How was the race from your seat today?
Yeah, it was awesome. We had the car to beat. We made just some great calls, halfway through, and that really worked for the race car. And I really think, we were the car to beat today. And we were just kind of playing around with Kobe there. Then the caution came out, and then then that kind of put us a little backwards there. And just kind of the way it played out towards the end, I think we were the car to beat. But we're a part-time team here, and every time we show up, we just get better and better. I'm getting more experience, and then we're fine-tuning the car better. And and the biggest thing is we were in contention to win today, and that's the biggest thing. And just having things fall your way. Bobby, he found the bottom. The bottom groove came right in with the grip down there, and he just found it a little bit before I did, and then he was able to get by us. And then in the restarts, we were just in just a little bit of the wrong locations, but we had an awesome car today, and there's nothing to be ashamed of today being a part-time team. So I got to give it to all my guys, and Jan Leedy making the calls, my spotter Rich, they all do an awesome job for me, my family, and everyone else involved. It's just to come here and be in contention to win every time we show up. It's just it's just an awesome feeling for us.
Ralph, Ray, if Patrick Emmerling ever runs a full season of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, he'll be a championship threat. He finishes 3rd.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Look forward to that day coming soon for Patrick. Another great championship fight coming your way, the K&N Pro Series from Dover, the Dover 125. We get to see Gilliland and Burton battling there.
Yeah, we've got good battles all through the NASCAR Touring Series.
Going to be a lot of fun. You'll see that Friday, October 6th. Well, Ray, we expected a great show here at Loudon, and once again, it certainly did not disappoint with the modifieds.
And with a few to go, we've got us a point battle.
And you'll see all of it, all the way to the champion being crowned right here on NBCSN. Well, there's some big hits in the championship point standings today. But when it was all said and done, it was the bottom groove that proved the way to the victory here today. And it's Bobby Santos taking the win. For Derek Brunisiglio and Ray Evernham, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Loudon. Congratulations, Bobby Santos.